LAD 90% stenosis, distal LAD 90% stenosis with diffuse disease. Distal circumflex shows 80 to 90% stenosis, and OM shows 80 to 90% stenosis. So this patient was admitted for further management. His clinical examination was normal, troponin was elevated, other blood tests were within normal limits, and HB was 12 grams per deciliter. 2D echo showed a mild LV systolic dysfunction with ejection fraction of 45% with RWMA in LAD territory. He was further investigated to be posted for CABG. Arterial Doppler, both lower limbs showed diffuse erythematous changes. Venous Doppler was negative for DVT. Carotid Doppler showed mild to moderate erythematous changes in bilateral carotid arteries. Ultrasound abdomen. Right kidney revealed an isoechoic lesion measuring 3.7 into 2.7 centimeters in the lower pole, which was predominantly exophytic. Left kidney was normal in size and outline. Serum creatinine and blood and CUE were normal. To further investigate the mass, CECT was done. CECT showed a lobulated, slightly dense lesion in the lower pole region of the right kidney, with enhancement in arterial phase and washout in venous phase, which confirmed a neoplastic lesion. There was no evidence of metastasis. This is the CECT of the patient. So this case involved a multidisciplinary decision making involving cardiologist, cardiothoracic surgeon, urologist, and anesthesiologist. This is a complex clinical scenario with dual pathology. So patient presents with chest pain and an incidentally detected renal mass. Both conditions individually warrant major surgery. This raises the question which condition should be treated first, and it highlights the challenge of prioritizing risk versus urgency in multi-system disease. So I would like to ask the panelists as to which condition should be treated first.
I cannot answer, madam, because I was the cardiac surgeon involved. But I will let others speak first, then I will.
From the cardiac side, if patient is relatively stable, first we will consider looking at the renal mass.
If but troponin was elevated.
Yeah, troponin was elevated, but at the same time we can stabilize the patient, and if renal tumor is really worrying them, if we go for CABG first, we can't take the renal surgery immediately. So first we have to select which one to be taken first. If the kidney tumor is aggressive one, we will first go with renal surgery. If we have relatively bit comfortable time, cardiologist will go first.
So I'll present to you what we did. Because angiogram had revealed triple vessel disease and recommended CABG, we thought isolated nephrectomy was unsafe, and ejection fraction was 45%, increasing the perioperative cardiac risk. So we planned for a combined CABG and nephrectomy. The advantages of this is it avoids risks of future cardiac events during a separate nephrectomy, avoids delays in treating suspected renal carcinoma, provides single anesthesia exposure, shorter cumulative ICU stay, and reduced cost. There are risks, but literature supports combined surgery in selected patients with acceptable outcomes. So we went for a balanced anesthesia with midazolam, fentanyl, propofol, sevoflurane, and vecuronium with arterial line and CVP monitoring. We initially performed nephrectomy, then packed the nephrectomy site, went for CABG, and then closed the nephrectomy site in layers. 3 grafts were done. So post-operative care is very important in these patients. There is need for monitoring for MI, arrhythmias, renal dysfunction, and bleeding. The patient was extubated in 5 hours and he was stable. And biopsy report revealed a clear cell renal cell carcinoma. So the patient had successful combined CABG and partial nephrectomy. With early detection and early surgery, patient had a good prognosis. The learning points from this case are: combined surgeries are feasible with proper selection and planning. Elevated troponin should never be ignored, even without classic MI signs. Perioperative evaluation must consider both cardiac and non-cardiac risks simultaneously, and multidisciplinary planning ensures safe outcomes in high-risk patients. The take-home messages: elevated troponin plus CAD plus malignancy is a high-risk decision-making scenario. Combined CABG plus nephrectomy may be preferred to avoid dual high-risk surgeries. Perioperative optimization and meticulous monitoring are essential for safe outcomes. Clear communication between specialties improves survival and recovery. Individual plan is superior to rigid guideline-based approach in multi-pathology cases. Thank you.
This was a